So you want to get into cybersecurity, but you're probably wondering, where do I even start? And I get it. Cybersecurity is one of the most exciting and rewarding fields right now, but the journey to get started can seem unclear. But in this video, I'm going to break it all down for you. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly where to start and how to begin building the skills to kick off your journey. Now, the first step is understanding main paths in cybersecurity, because where you start depends on where you want to go. Cybersecurity isn't just a single job. At a high level, it's split into three main paths. The red team who attacks systems to find weaknesses, the blue team who defend and monitor those systems, and the purple team who sits in the middle and help both sides get better. Now let's start with the offensive side of cybersecurity, the red team. Red teamers are the people whose job is to think exactly like attackers. Their goal is to break into systems legally and with permission to find weaknesses before real hackers do. This is because a single vulnerability discovered in a test can prevent major breaches in the future. Essentially, red team is all about proactive security. And in practice, this can mean running penetration tests against applications, simulating phishing attacks to test employee awareness, or even exploiting simple misconfigurations like an exposed cloud storage bucket that no one locked down properly. Now, once those attacks start happening, real or simulated, someone has to detect them, stop them, and figure out what went wrong. And that's where the blue team comes in. Blue team is the defensive side of cybersecurity, and their job is to monitor systems, detect suspicious activity, and respond when something doesn't look right. This role is less about breaking things and more about understanding what normal looks like, so that you can recognize when something is off. Now, in many organizations, red and blue teams don't work in isolation. They need to work together. And when that collaboration is needed, the purple team steps in to connect the two teams and make sure both sides improve. Purple team sits right in the middle of offense and defense. Their job is to make sure red team findings actually help blue team improve, and that blue team detections keep up with real-world attack techniques. Purple team is less about choosing sides and more about collaboration and continuous improvement. As you can see, each of these paths plays a very different role, and which one fits you best depends a lot on how you think and how you like to work. So to find out which path is right for you, you can think about the kind of work you enjoy most. If you love puzzles, curiosity drives you, and you get a thrill from figuring out how things can be broken, chances are you would enjoy red team work. On the other hand, if you're someone who likes patterns, enjoys digging through logs, and finds satisfaction in keeping systems safe, you might lean towards blue team. And of course, finally, there are people who enjoy both sides, understanding attacks, but also how to stop them and improve defenses. If this sounds like you, then purple team could be the perfect fit. Alright, now that you have a better sense of which path might suit you, the next question is, how do you actually get started? Now, whether you're learning red, blue, or purple, there are some fundamental skills every cybersecurity beginner should learn first. These are the building blocks that will make all the tools, labs, and challenges you tackle later much easier to understand and more meaningful. So let's break down a clear step-by-step roadmap for beginners. Now, everything in cybersecurity starts with understanding how computers talk to each other. You don't need to memorize every protocol, but you should know the basics. Start by focusing on the core concepts you will use over and over, like how data travels across networks, how devices identify each other, and how different services communicate. This includes things like TCP versus UDP, HTTP and HTTPS, DNS, IP addresses, common ports, but also concepts like routing, firewalls, and basic network topologies. A really useful way to organize this knowledge is the OSI model, because it breaks networking into 7 layers, from physical connections at the bottom to applications at the top, which helps you understand where things happen and why a problem in one layer affects the others. Now, once you understand the networking basics, the next step is getting comfortable with Linux, since it's the backbone of many servers, security tools, and labs. You don't need to become a Linux expert overnight, but the goal is to understand the file system, basic commands, and how to interact with the system. So start by getting a hands-on environment. You can spin up an Ubuntu virtual machine, use a cloud instance, or even try Windows subsystem for Linux if you're on Windows. From there, you can focus on the essentials. You can start by learning how to navigate the file system, moving between directories, checking your current location, and listing the contents of folders. Then you can practice basic file operations like creating, reading, copying, moving, and deleting files. And once you're comfortable with that, you can look into permissions, understanding users, groups, and how to control access to files. You will also want to get familiar with monitoring processes or system resources, as well as checking network connections, open ports, and your system's network configuration. Now, after getting comfortable with Linux, it's equally important to understand Windows, since many networks, enterprise systems, and endpoints run on Windows. The goal is to get familiar with navigating the system, understanding key components, and learning how to interact with it both visually and via command line. You can start by exploring the Windows interface and core tools, like open Event Viewer to see application security and system logs. You can take a look at Task Manager to monitor processes and resource usage. You can explore Control Panel or settings to understand different systems configurations. Knowing where to find logs, installed programs, and system settings will make troubleshooting and investigation much easier later. And at the same time, you have to get comfortable with command line like PowerShell and basic commands. You can practice listing files, checking systems information, managing processes, navigating directories, and so on. PowerShell is also where automation, monitoring, and even security checks come into play, so knowing how to run simple commands and scripts is going to be invaluable for you in the future. Now, once you're comfortable navigating Linux and Windows, the next step is learning some basic scripting, and Python is the perfect place to start. Scripting helps you automate repetitive tasks, parse data, and interact with systems, which is something every cybersecurity professional does at some point. While there are other scripting options like Bash for Linux or PowerShell for Windows, Python is especially beginner-friendly, versatile, and widely used across both red and blue team tasks. Bonus point is that once you're confident with Python, picking up other scripting languages will become much easier. You can start with the fundamentals like learning variables, data types, conditionals, loops, and functions, because these are the building blocks that will let you write small programs, and then gradually you can tackle more complex tasks. A great way to learn is by doing small projects. For example, you can write a script that fetches a web page and prints its headers, or one that reads a file and counts the number of times a certain word appears, and then you can maybe experiment with combining commands, taking input, printing output to the console, because all of this helps you understand how programs flow and handle data. Alright, once you're comfortable with networking, Linux, Windows, and some basic Python, it's time to jump into the core security concepts, which form the foundation of everything in cybersecurity. For example, you can start with the CIA triad, which is the cornerstone of security thinking. And it's basically a simple framework which helps you understand why security exists in the first place, keeping data private, ensuring it isn't tampered with, and making sure it's accessible when needed. Every decision a red, blue, or purple teamer makes ties back to one of these principles. Next, you can get familiar with basic threat models. You can think of this as understanding the types of attacks a system might face, who could carry them out, and what the potential impact would be. It's not about memorizing every attack out there, but it's about learning to evaluate risks logically and systematically. Finally, you can learn some common vulnerabilities. For example, for web applications, a good starting point is the OWASP Top 10, which is basically a list of most common security issues like injection attacks, broken authentication, misconfigured security settings, and so on. Even if you don't understand all the technical details at first, just knowing they exist and how they impact systems sets a strong foundation. Alright, now that we covered what you need to learn when you're starting, let's focus on where you can learn these skills. There are a ton of resources, both free and paid. The key is to take advantage of the best platforms, communities, and tools available so that you can accelerate your learning and build your skills. For getting started, free online resources are a goldmine. They give you access to quality content without needing to spend a dime. And when it comes to free learning, YouTube is by far the most accessible platform. There are tons of great channels offering tutorials, tips, and even hands-on cybersecurity challenges. One channel I highly recommend is Network Chalk, which focuses on networking and cybersecurity concepts, often with practical demos. It's perfect if you want to learn the technical side of networking or security setups. Another great resource is the Cyber Mentor, especially if you're interested in ethical hacking or penetration testing. His channel is filled with real-world hacking challenges and concepts, which makes it a great fit for anyone leaning toward red team work. If you're looking for a mix of both offensive and defensive security, Hackersploit is a channel that offers tutorials for both red and blue team activities, including ethical hacking, security monitoring, and so on. His content is detailed and perfect for anyone who wants to cover a broad range of topics. And finally, I recommend David Bumble, which offers amazing tutorials on network defense, firewall setups, IDS, IPS, some red teaming stuff, and more. His content is a solid foundation for anyone looking to build a skill set in cybersecurity. Now, one of the best platforms for learning and engaging with others in cybersecurity is Discord. There are tons of active servers where people share tips, resources, and advice. Some people even host challenges, CTF events, or competitions which allow you to test your skills in real time. Some useful Discord servers you might want to check out are TCM Security, NahamSec, Hack the Box, TryHackMe, and Cyber Defenders. These are of course just a few examples, but with a little more research, you can find plenty of Discord servers that can match your interest and skill level. Now, when it comes to practical hands-on learning in cybersecurity, interactive platforms are game changers. For starters, you can use TryHackMe, which is great for beginners and offers a combination of both free and paid rooms, and many of the introductory rooms and even some courses are available for free, so you can start learning without any initial investment. And as you progress, there are more advanced rooms, guided learning paths, and paid courses which can get you deeper into specific topics within red team, blue team, purple team environments. Now, next up is Hack the Box, which is another great platform known for its challenging hands-on hacking scenarios. While it's a bit more difficult than TryHackMe, it's the perfect place for those looking to push their skills to the next level. Hack the Box offers a combination of free and premium content, so you can start building your skills without any initial payment. Hack the Box is unique because it has two sections, Academy and Labs. The Academy section is a way for beginners to get started. It provides structured learning paths on topics like web application security, penetration testing, network security, and so on. On the other hand, the Labs section is where the real fun begins. It's full of real-world hacking and network security challenges ranging from beginner to expert. Next, we have Let's Defend, which focuses primarily on blue team skills. It offers both free and paid paths with labs on topics like incident response, threat hunting, and security operations, and it's a perfect platform for people who are interested in defending networks and systems rather than attacking them. Another really useful platform is VulnHub, which is a platform offering vulnerable virtual machines and environments for practicing penetration testing. It's a bit like Hack the Box, but more focused on virtual machines you can download and work offline. This makes it a great resource for people who want to learn at their own pace without needing an active internet connection. Next, we have RootMe, which is another solid platform which offers a mix of red team and blue team challenges. It's similar to Hack the Box, but features a more beginner-friendly approach, which allows you to get hands-on with systems and gain practical experience in hacking, web security, and more. And finally, if you're focused on blue team defense and security operations, then another good platform is Cyber Defenders. This platform is specifically geared towards providing free blue team challenges which help you practice defensive skills such as incident response, threat hunting, and security operations. You will be working with logs, analyzing network traffic, and using defensive tools to detect and mitigate security incidents. It also offers free access to its challenges, which gives you the chance to develop your blue team skills without the need for a subscription. Alright, now that we covered the resources and tools to help you get started with cybersecurity journey, let's briefly talk about some common mistakes beginners often make. For starters, a common trap is spending hours watching tutorials, YouTube videos, videos and reading articles without actually doing anything. It's easy to get caught up in the content consumption, but the real growth happens when you start applying what you're learning. Additionally, cybersecurity is a vast field with many specialties like red team, blue team, incident response, digital forensics, and so much more. A huge mistake beginners make is thinking that they need to be an expert in every single of these areas right away. No one becomes a pro in everything overnight. So focus on one area at a time, build a strong foundation in the basics, and then branch out. And also keep in mind that rushing to learn specific tools before fully understanding the core fundamentals is a huge mistake. Tools like Burp Suite, Wireshark, Splunk, or Metasploit are all powerful, but without understanding networking, operating systems, and how data flows, you won't be able to use these tools effectively. The tools are there to apply the knowledge you gained, not to replace it. Now, another big mistake is neglecting to document your learning. Not taking notes, writing down important concepts, or documenting your progress is a missed opportunity. Keep a log of what you're learning, write down commands, techniques, and concepts that are difficult to remember. You could use tools like Obsidian or Joblin to organize your notes effectively. So if you're just starting your journey, keep these mistakes in your mind and don't get discouraged. Focus on building a strong foundation, practicing consistently, and applying what you learn. One final thing I want to mention is certifications. There's still a valuable way to demonstrate your skills and knowledge in 2026, especially when you're starting out. You can begin with the foundational certifications like Security Plus, Network Plus, CCNA to get a solid grasp of the fundamentals as you enter the field. As you grow and gain more hands-on experience, you can consider progressing to more advanced certifications like OSCP, which is highly respected in the offensive security world. Depending on the path you choose, whether red team, blue team, or something else, there are specialized certifications which can help you learn specific areas like cloud security, forensics, or incident response. But keep in mind, certifications alone won't make you a cybersecurity professional. It's all about staying updated with the latest trends, practicing, and continuously improving your skills. Cybersecurity offers endless opportunities, but it's a long journey that requires curiosity, dedication, and constant learning. Patience is definitely key in this field, and it takes time to build up your knowledge and experience, but with persistence, you will be on your way to mastering cybersecurity. So keep pushing yourself, keep experimenting, and most importantly, enjoy the process. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.